Yeah. Liking this tune. Delusion, thanks for the song, man. Feel free, guys, to send in your music to us by all means, and we'll showcase it for you. Email us at deadsense@gmail.com or get a hold of me on Twitter at Overkill204. So I'm here with my good buddy Killa with some more stories. We're pumping out another one here. And
I don't know. Are we still friends?
I don't know.
No, you're a bit of a pusher.
I've been pushing it a bit.
Are we still friends?
It actually does take work to put this down, lay it down. I understand it is a little bit of. It takes time, especially in this day and age where it is summertime and we're busy as hell.
I work for a living outside all day in the sun.
Unfortunately, YouTube doesn't pay us any money whatsoever to put these videos out. So someday they will.
Unless somebody has a million friends, maybe they could tell each other to watch it.
And that's why the importance of subscribing and liking and commenting, all that stuff is so important. Not because we're money whores in a sense, but more along the lines of, we just want to get our content out there. Well, maybe we are whoring a bit. I don't know.
You're a spammer.
I've been spamming.
You're Captain Spammer.
I do apologize to some of you guys if you are getting an overabundance of DMs.
Overabundance.
Yeah, these things happen. We got to get the word out, though. That's the only way to do it. So, without further ado, on to the next episode.
Let's do the disclaimer again.
Disclaimer, right? Because
do not repeat these actions. We are not going to be. I do not want to get sued.
No, nobody's held liable here because we are putting out this disclaimer, and we're literally telling you guys this for your own either entertainment or information. Take it as is, and maybe you can learn something from it. So,
and actually, something I've realized for myself is actually sort of cleansing in a way.
Yeah, well, there you go. I mean, somebody who, like my buddy Killa, who has been through these experiences, what better way to get through them, than getting it out? Maybe it's a therapeutic way. Maybe, who knows?
So let's continue. So I think we finished off last time where they had a couple of crack shacks on the go.
Right.
Things where I had a couple runners downtown. And I started to realize a couple of things right off the bat. That didn't matter what day of the week it was, but between about 4 and 7 a.m., things slowed down a little bit. So if you give your runners dope, they used to call me at like 3:30, and what I would always say is I'd go down and grab the money that they owed me at the time, maybe slip them a small chunk to get high with, and tell them that I had to go repick and recook.
Right.
Just no matter whether I had dope or not, just to stall it.
Just to give you a break.
Not to give me a break, but because if I gave them dope at that time in the morning with not being busy with customers, that they would just go somewhere and get high with my dope.
Right.
And then the next day have to make it up, and it would take them a couple hours. And it used to happen all the time, but I clued into this.
Yeah.
But the thing was, with 2 shacks going and 4 or 5 guys working for me downtown, I was running around like crazy.
Yeah.
So it was time I figured that I needed to find a partner.
Yeah.
Somebody that I could sort of trust to have my back. And I knew of 3 or 4 different guys that were like me, doing the same thing as me, trying to get their shit going. Basically running shit on the street, not really with shacks and stuff like that, but had their shit together. And then, so there's this one guy called Steve. And so I decided I'd talk to him the one time. And plus, also, if I could get somebody else to go in with me with more money,
right,
would mean that I could
money
get
in return. Yeah.
More dope.
Right.
For a better price, for a lower price. So we hooked up, and he was pretty good at cooking too. So the fact is, one of us could always be cooking while the other one was out distributing the stuff to our guys and keeping the shacks going. So there was never a lull time, because there were so many times that I would get a phone call from a guy saying that he needed something, and I would say I would be there in 5 minutes.
Right.
15 minutes later, he'd call me back and say, "Where are you?" And I would throw out a comment, "Fuck, I was on the corner. I seen you. I honked. What the hell?" I would still be 10 minutes away from this guy. But the thing was, if I told him the reality that I'm going to be 45 minutes, he would have just gone to somebody else. Right. But if you string them along saying that you're going to be there, you're going to be there, you're going to be... Yeah, that they'll end up waiting.
Right.
for you, right?
Right.
So and you story him, then he'd call you back like 5 minutes later. I'm like, okay, come on, man, I was there again. You got to get in. I'm not hanging out on the corner. And then by the third time he would call me, that's when I'd be actually rolling up.
Right.
And then when he got in, I'd be giving him fucking shit, and he would be taking it because now he knows that I have dope, and that's all he wanted was the dope.
Man. So by this point, he's No, we're okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we were just checking our levels there. We're okay. It's all good. Okay, sorry. A little off topic. Speaking of cooking, have you watched that TV show Breaking Bad?
No.
No. Not even one episode?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, man, that is right up the alley of your older self. Oh, don't hit it. What are you doing? You hit it.
Oh, that's okay.
That's okay. Anyway, moving on.
Just getting all freaked out here.
Checking our levels. Oh, God, he hit the mic. It probably sounds like a big thud.
Anyhow.
Anyway, so you were into some stall tactics with your
Yeah,
runners.
because like I said, if you didn't stall them, they'd go somewhere else. But if they thought that you were right around the corner, are going to be right there. And I did it so many times.
Yeah.
So having a partner meant that I wasn't lying as much.
Right.
That I could keep people in tune a little bit more. So that when they called me, I was 5 minutes away and would actually meet them. And plus, a lot of times, there's certain people that would only deal with me. Like guys who are buying bigger amounts and stuff like that. That would only deal with me.
Right, you became a trusted source.
I tried to keep that to a minimum because it was just easier to keep the two shacks going at the time and have 4 or 5 runners. And with my buddy Steve coming on, now we had about 8 or 9 runners.
Wow.
And a third crack shack for a while, until that sort of blew up in our face and we lost a bunch of cash. But so anyway, so things are going along quite smoothly for the longest time. Okay, we've got a bit of heat in that, but for the most part, we're hanging out at the bars. We're hanging out. Steve had a VLT addiction, so he's sitting in front of the VLTs all the time.
Damn those VLTs.
Yeah. I turned him into the casinos because there's a couple hot chicks working at the casino in the town we were in, so I started hanging out there.
Oh.
And I started actually dating one of the girls that was actually working behind the bar at one of the casinos, so we used to hang out there all the time, and it was a little bit cheaper to play some of the nickel and dime slots
Right.
than it was to be putting in a couple $100 into the VLT.
VLTs. Well, VLTs are just an automatic loss.
And actually, we were doing pretty good at the casino. There was a few times when we hit the big jackpots on some of those smaller machines and got $500,000. So yeah, it was okay.
So you and Steve you guys were...
We were hanging out more, and
Yeah.
we had more time to do things because we would cook a whole bunch. We'd go drop it all off, and because we could separate and go our own ways, things worked out well.
So at this point, though, you're still kind of on the ground floor as far as...
We were doing good.
You're still selling as you're supplying your runners.
Well, yeah, and I'm keeping my crack shack supplied, so we were doing pretty good.
Yeah.
We had actually quite a bit of cash going on. But we did stupid things too. Like we lost money there was a couple times. We had a bunch of money in a pickup truck one time.
Yeah.
In the glove box, and Steve was so out of it. I was talking to him on the phone from one of the shacks. He was coming to get me, so we could go back to the place, grab some, and go cook.
Yeah.
And he nods off in the truck while he's driving and drives straight into a brick wall.
Oh, shit.
As I'm talking to him on the phone, I can hear the accent.
Oh,
I sort of know the area he's in. So I had a chick sitting there with a vehicle who was driving for me on a regular basis, and I was getting her high. And so I jumped in the vehicle with her. I went to where I thought he was because when I talked to him on the phone, he was telling me whereabouts he was. And I sort of knew the brick wall that I thought he'd run into.
Oh, my God.
He's walking down the sidewalk. Well, by now, he's far enough away. Well, we pick him up, pull a Yui. I was actually going to go back to the truck until I seen the 2 cop cars coming the other way.
Straight for the accident.
Yeah, going straight for the accident. Yeah. So we lost a few grand there. You know, there's things that we did.
Was that cash in the vehicle that he was in?
Yeah, in an envelope.
Oh, wow. Jesus.
It was just because it was just the way things went. I was at the shack. I didn't want to have it on me, roaming around by myself, right? It was in a glove box. It was safe. Well, figured it was safe anyways. But yeah, so then I took him to another place and set him up with a couple of girls, and they sat there for the night sort of making sure, because I'm pretty sure he had a concussion. He had glass all in his forehead from putting his head through the windshield.
Holy shit.
So these girls picking out the glass out of his head, using alcohol swabs and stuff like that to clean it up and making sure they stayed awake, making sure just keeping him high all night long.
Were you guys ever? Oh, speaking of that, were you ever worried like of getting seriously hurt at some point and then not being able to go, to a hospital? You don't just go. You get hurt. You run straight to a hospital.
No way.
When you're in
not,
these types of situations.
No,
No. Like you see it on TV. Those movies where they have like these little doctors' offices that work on the side, and it's
you can get away with certain things. Like you can get away with. Stab wounds, you have to go in and you sort of have to play them off in a certain way. But the cops, like, there was another scenario where a guy owed me some money.
Yeah.
He called, actually, he didn't realize Steve and I were partners. He called Steve. Steve tells me who it was. So I hop in the car with Steve. I'm sitting in the passenger seat with a hoodie on, pulled down over my head. We pull up to this Max. I've got my arms crossed and stuff like that, so he can't see who it is.
Yeah.
He reaches in. Steve tells him to go around to the passenger side. He comes to the passenger side with his $200. I think he owed me $500 at the time. So I keep my head down. As soon as he puts $200 in the window, I grab the $200 out of my hand, flip my fucking hoodie back. He sort of steps back from the vehicle, seeing who it is. I put the $200 down. I get out. I think I grabbed a pair of jumper cables like nunchucks and I sort of beat him a little bit. Well, I sort of knocked him to the ground and shit like that, but I was feeling bad. I was fucking higher than a kite.
Yeah.
I was feeling bad. And so I sort of said, okay, enough is enough. I want the rest of my money. It was like early in the morning, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning.
So when people owe you drug money, that's the only way to deal with it. Is like, it's not like you can't like screw up or fuck up their credit history or anything like that. Like when somebody owes
I'm
you
gonna
drug
report you
money,
to the credit bureau because you didn't pay me for those 2 grams I
yeah,
gave you last
your
night.
Equifax history is now slaughtered because you didn't pay me for my drugs.
Yeah, no, that's not happening. No, there's certain ways to deal with things. There was another situation where Patch is my driver. We need to get gas. We're pulling into a 7-Eleven. There's a payphone on the corner of the 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
I've got my phone behind me. I used to carry around this baton. It's like
the
one of the
cop
cop
one?
ones. Yeah,
Yeah.
well, it's an extender, so it's about 12 inches.
Not
and
as
then you
big.
pop it out, and it comes out into like, I think it's about 2.5 feet. The thing used to come out.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and the thing was tough. I used to carry around a blackjack too a lot.
The blackjacks are the cop ones, right?
This blackjack I had actually was like a thin metal.
Yeah.
Where it had a handle on it, leather handle on it, with a little strap on it to hold on to your hand.
Right.
And it was a thin metal piece about 80 inches long with a big ball,
Right.
all encased in leather.
Right. Huh.
That thing was deadly because it had this whip action and it would knock people out one
Oh
shot.
my god.
Yeah.
You crack skulls with that thing?
Oh, hell yeah. But anyway, so as we're rolling in, Pat just says to me, I've got my head down, I'm getting high. She's going to go pump the gas. She says to me, Dirty Dave's at the payphone. Now, this Dirty Dave guy owed me about $750.
Yeah.
Okay, I see him at the payphone with his hooker. I look up, I see him at the payphone with his hooker, and he's making a phone call. My phone's not ringing. He owes me money. He should be calling me. And I've told everybody, no matter if you owe me money or not, call me.
Yeah.
If you owe me money and you're getting dope, call me. As I'll take a little bit of the money towards your debt. The rest you can have in dope.
Right.
And I'll be cool with it. Don't worry about it. And all the girls used to know that, so the girls used to come to me all the time. But certain people used to avoid me. So anyways, I go up to the thing, and I don't even wait for a reaction from him. I just see him turn, look at me. I see a look of fear on his face. I grab out this billy. I just smack him across the shoulder, break his collarbone right there.
Oh, man.
He's crying like a little bitch.
Yeah.
The girl with him's like, what the fuck, what the fuck? He's got $100 in his hand. I snag the $100 out of his hand. The girl says, that's my money, that's my money. So I pull a small chunk out of my pocket. I give her the small chunk. I say, go get high, fuck off, bitch, because I know it's not your money, because if it was your money, it wouldn't be in his hands.
Right.
I say to him, hey, listen here, you fucking little dick. Oh, excuse my language.
You don't have to worry about language.
Anyways, I say, excuse me, you owe me money. You're calling for dope. I know that because you have money in your hand.
Yeah.
I said, there's no way you're staying in here with that broad if you're not getting dope.
Right.
And I said, my phone's not ringing.
What are you doing?
What
are
is
you
the
doing?
problem?
Yeah. What are you doing looking for dope when you owe?
Well, it's not even
money?
that. It's, I don't care if you want dope or not. Still, why are you not phoning me to buy my dope? Whether you owe me
Right.
money or not, at least I'm making money.
Right.
Selling dope, right? That's what I
Right.
do. I sell dope.
Yeah.
Okay, so whether you owe me money or not, if you call me, and even if I gave you a gram for the $100 you give
So
me.
maybe he was.
I'm
he
still
was-
making money.
Maybe he was scared of you. Maybe
Well,
he, didn't want-
he was exactly scaring me,
maybe
but
he
I
didn't
told
want to
him
buy
before
off
that.
you because
I told
he owed
him,
you money.
Yeah, but I told him all that. I would still give him dope. I wouldn't take all their money. I'd still give them dope. But I would take some towards the debt.
Right.
As long as you were coming to me, I'd be cool with it.
Yeah.
If not, that there was going to be a problem.
Right.
I pay guys more money to go beat up people than what the debt was.
Right.
Like, I remember a guy owed me $75, and I didn't want the time to go slap him around, so I gave him a guy a gram to go beat him up. Now, really, it wasn't actually $75 to me, like the gram.
Yeah.
I could have sold it for $100, so it's basically cost me $100, but it only probably cost me $20 or $25 to begin
Right.
with, right? The gram.
In the grand scheme of things.
In
yeah.
the grand scheme of things, but the thing was that I don't let people get away with shit,
Yeah.
especially not in that business.
Well, no, I mean,
But
Like
anyway,
you
back,
see- like
back
you
to the
see all-
story.
like you see
back
on
to
all
the
those
story
shores.
where I let Buddy up after
Yeah.
I was beating his ass. I let
Right.
him up, and he stabs me in the back when I'm walking away.
he stabbed you?
Yeah, he stabbed me in the back. He actually punctured my lung.
Holy shit.
So I wake up in the hospital. Now, lucky thing is I had dope and cash on me at the time he stabs me, okay?
Yeah.
So my buddy Steve sees us go down. Buddy takes off. This Kevin guy takes off. My buddy Steve gets out, comes to me. He phones 911 for an ambulance, comes to me, grabs all the cash from my pocket, all my dope, and all my ID,
Oh,
and
okay.
jets.
Right.
And well, he
Just-
actually goes around the corner, waits for the ambulance to show up, and sees that they get me, and then jets.
Right.
Then he waits, and later on that night he comes and sees me in the hospital, and I'm out of it. So then he has to come back the next day, and the first thing he does is in a paper bag in the drawer beside my bed. When I came in that night, he had all my cash and my dope in that bag, put in the drawer.
Yeah.
When I woke up in the morning, told me it was there, everything was there, so I could trust him. So things were good.
Right.
You know, I had somebody watch my back. There was another occasion. Now I helped him out numerous times.
Well, yeah, it goes
But-
probably back and
Yeah,
forth.
but there was another occasion where I was getting jacked up by the cops, and I knew they were coming to grab me. So I dumped all the crack I had on me.
Yeah.
I only had about a quarter ounce, so I sort of threw it in the bushes.
Dumped it. What do you mean? Just
Threw
threw
it
it?
in the bush. Oh, I threw away so much dope not to get busted.
Really?
Yeah, I threw
Would
it in
you
the
ever
bushes.
go back to
Yeah,
get
yeah,
it? Yeah.
Sometimes I got it back. So I
Yeah.
threw it in the bushes, and I also had a couple grams of pot and baggies on me, so I just sort of dropped those as I'm walking because I know they're coming for me. I see them coming around the corner. I know they're coming for me. I have just enough time, about 15 seconds to do this.
Yeah.
I have this little pocket knife on me that I just got off this guy for like a 10 blast. Okay, it was a sweet little thing with a little skull engraved in it, the whole 9 yards. Okay,
Yeah.
it was like 6 inches, and I figured it was legal.
Oh.
The other thing was I forgot that earlier on that day I had made a powder deal, and I didn't have any powder on me, so I grabbed a gram from this guy, and it was so big, and he gave it in 2 packages, and I just sold the guy who was actually looking for it. I gave him just one of the packages, which was $50,
Yeah.
and charged him $100 for it. So I had the other packet, but I had it stuffed down in the corner of my side pocket. I forgot all about it.
Mm-mm.
So the cops jacked me up, and they pulled this knife, and they know what I'm doing anyways. And I thought at this time I was do not detain.
Yeah.
But I guess these 2 cops didn't know what they were doing. They pulled this knife, and they jacked me for this knife. And as soon as they see this knife, they're like, "Oh, that's illegal. You're going to jail for a concealed weapon." I'm like, "What the fuck?" And it's like a Friday night, so they're trying to interrupt my fucking scheme of things.
Right.
And weekends are busy.
Just to slow you down. For,
Yeah, just to slow me down. They see me around way too much. They know what's going on. They
Yeah.
popped a few people here and there. They know where the dope's coming from these days.
So 6-inch blade plus handle. It can't be more than. Is it blade plus handle?
It is blade plus handle now.
Right,
And that's
now
what
it
they
is,
tell
yeah.
me, right? So it's now this is like a 9-inch knife, 10-inch knife, right? So now it's illegal.
Right.
But anyways, so when they find the knife, now they start searching me badly. And Buddy says, "Oh, what's that in the corner of your pocket?" I pull it out, and it has to be this. It's actually about a quarter gram because I started a couple
No,
lines.
no.
And I was like, "Oh my!"
Right in front of the
fucking
cop?
God. No.
Oh.
Before, like when
Oh.
when I sold Buddy the other half, I did a couple lines right there after I
okay.
made the transaction. But fuck, if I had the chance for the cop, I would have done the rest right there.
Yeah.
But I forgot all about it though. That was the fucking thing. Like
Yeah.
I was high all the time, and I was now a crackhead. So I was high, like smoking crack all the time.
Don't get high on your own supply.
Oh fuck that shit. Who else supply you getting high on except the dope you have in your pocket? Once you
Yeah.
paid for it, it's fucking all good.
So I've
anyways.
heard that saying a million times. It's
But
utter bullshit.
Whose dope are you getting high on then?
That's right.
Like what? Okay, so you're selling your dope and then going buying somebody else's dope to get high with? Like,
No.
You're getting high on your own supply. Where the fuck do you think your dope comes from? And 90% of people are selling dope nowadays because they have some sort of addiction.
Right.
You know, they're supporting their addiction for the most part, is what I believe, because if they weren't, they're crazy. Anyways. Yeah, so I get popped for this little half gram, this knife, and they cut me bail. And when I go in front of the Justice of the Peace that night, because it's Friday night,
Yeah.
and I get in there just in time to see the Justice of the Peace, they cut me bail for like $1,500. So
Yikes.
within half an hour, I'm out. Like, my buddy Steve comes down. And the funny thing was, I'm waiting. They said, oh, if it's not here in 45 minutes, you're going to be transported down to the remand center for the weekend, and you won't be able to get out till Monday.
Yeah.
And I'm like, screw that. So my first phone call is to him. He's like, yeah, I'll be there. Anyways, about 5 minutes before they're going to take me to the remand, they said, oh, somebody's bailed you out, and they come up with this name. Now, I'm not going to say the name because it's a real name.
Yeah.
But I'm like, who the fuck is that? Like, I'm like, I can't understand who's bailed me out. I'm thinking
Somebody else other than Steve bailed you out?
No, well, that's what I'm thinking at the time. I'm like, who the hell bailed me out? I'm like, well, maybe it's a lawyer he's got or something like that, right? Because the name, I did not recognize the name.
Yeah.
So I get out there, and I walk into the parking lot, and there's my buddy Steve. He's got a pipe going on. He's got a big blast for me to do right in the parking lot of me getting out. And he's got another phone for me already because they jacked my phone, didn't give me back my phone.
Yeah.
Oh, and I actually took the SIM card out at the time and snapped it because I don't want them
Right.
tracing any of
No
my phone
tracing
calls or nothing
whatsoever,
like
yeah.
that. And I said, who the hell is this that bailed me out? He's like, that's me. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I've been calling this Steve forever. He says, oh, that's not my name.
Steve, not my real name.
I'm like, oh, you fucking bastard. He's like, why, is that your real name? And I said, yeah. I said, sure, a lot of people call me other things.
Right.
But, like, I have a couple different handles. But for you and I dealing together, I thought we were partners. But he's like, oh, it's all good, man. He says, I
Built on
trust you.
trust and then
But I
semi-trust,
just cracked my ass off.
Well, so did you guys continue doing work together after
Yeah,
that?
we worked for a while after that, and then sort of things got real sketchy. He was one of those people, and it was probably me too, like, that the more you do, like, we were getting high all the time. Like, I made it to the point where I made up this contraption. Okay, I would go into the hardware store, I'd buy a long brass fitting piece.
Yeah.
I'd buy a little elbow piece. I put a screen in it up there.
Yeah.
Why is the music already
It's
bouncing?
coming in, but it's okay. We're getting close to the end here.
But anyways, yeah, and I used to run this hose up my sleeve into my hoodie over my shoulders around my other arm.
Yeah.
And I used to have two wristbands, so when the pipe got hot and I stuffed it in there, it wouldn't burn my arm. I just pull it out, put my hoodie up, pull it out, stick a chunk into my pipe, hold it in my hand, light it up, and I could be standing on the corner and doing a blast and nobody'd even notice it.
Wow.
Anyways, yeah, we'll continue more, and I'll tell you about how the partnership ends gruesomely.
Right. So then leave us hanging here. Leave us hanging. I mean, that's the idea on this one was partnership, right? So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you liked it. More to come, always. I mean, we're gonna keep pumping these out. Probably, I would say at least every Sunday we'll have an episode out for you guys. So hope you liked it. If you did, leave a like and a comment. I know I'm whoring here. I'm back to my whoring stage. Anyway, have a good one. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Peace.